In this video, we're going to use the Summarize tool. The Summarize tool lets us reorganize our data into slightly different forms by aggregating it across groups and getting some summary information out. In our case, this is important because right now we have a separate row for every name and year. However, we are interested in year buckets more than we are actual years. Additionally, we want to make sure that male and female wind up as sums across those year buckets. So we want to tell Alteryx, tell me every time a child was given a specific name within our year bucket. You do that by summing them or adding them together. So to do that, we're going to grab the Summarize tool from the Favorites bar or the Transform bar and drag it down. And then we'll have a list of fields that are coming into it from the tool that it's connected to, our formula tool. And we'll get to say how we want to organize it. So we're going to want to group by name and year bucket. So first, with name selected, we're going to go add group by, and then year bucket, add group by. What this means is that for all of the rows in our output, they're going to have a name and a year bucket. That will be things with distinct names and year buckets will have their own rows. If they share that information, they'll be consolidated together. They'll be aggregated. Now, what data do we want coming out of the aggregation? Well, we want to know a count of how many students were given that how many children were given that name. So we will go and add. Now, we're going to select sum, not count, because what we are interested in is we are interested in how many children were named across all the groups, so we add it together. What count would do would be how many records are there within that year bucket. So for most cases, it would probably just be a 10. In 10 years, we have 10 different entries for when a name is used. The entries have all sorts of different numbers, but that's not important. That's the difference between sum and count. We're going to repeat the same for male, where we add a sum again. And now that we have the fields that we want, and we are satisfied with the names of the fields that auto-generated, so name, year bucket, sum female, sum male, I'll go and grab a browse tool so that I can see the output, and then click run. Now that I have run our data, we have name, year bucket, sum female, sum male. And this tells us, within a year band, how common was a name for both female and male children. And it is divided among first and last 10 years. So we've got a working Summarize tool, and now we'll work on into trying to combine our rows together.